She said it the way people do when they want an ending to feel temporary. I need space, she said. Let's just be friends. I waited for the rest, the reassurance, the qualifiers, the promise that nothing would really change. It didn't come. So I nodded and said, sure. She looked relieved. That should have told me something. When she left, the apartment felt oddly neutral. Not empty, just unclaimed. I sat on the couch and let the feelings arrive without asking them to solve anything. Sadness showed up first, then embarrassment, then a small, steadier resolve. Friendship, I realized, wasn't a foggy middle ground. It had edges. That night, I opened my laptop and did the unromantic work. I removed her name from the shared subscriptions. Utilities first, then the streaming services we'd bundled because it was cheaper and easier. I changed the Netflix password last, mostly because it felt symbolic in a way I didn't want to overthink. The next morning, I put her spare car key in an envelope and texted her that it was on the counter. No accusation, no explanation, just information. She replied with a thumbs-up emoji. For 2 days, nothing happened. The silence felt earned, like the quiet after a storm when debris hasn't been noticed yet. I went to work, cooked for one, took a long walk. I didn't reach out to check on her. I didn't ask how she was holding up. Friends, after all, don't require daily maintenance. On the third day, my phone buzzed. Hey, she wrote, my Netflix isn't working. I stared at the message, then typed, deleted, and finally sent, I changed the password. A pause. Then why? Because we're just friends now. Another pause. Longer this time. That evening, there was a knock at my door. Not tentative. Not angry. Urgent. I opened it and found her standing there with a jacket half-zipped. Eyes bright in a way that suggested she'd been tallying inconveniences all day. No car. No ride. No familiar logins smoothing the edges. This is ridiculous, she said. You didn't have to do all this. I stepped aside so we weren't blocking the hallway. I didn't invite her in. I didn't do anything to you, I said. I did things for myself. She crossed her arms. We said we'd be friends. We did. I agreed. And I'm treating you the way I treat my friends. We don't share finances. We don't share passwords. We don't hold each other's keys. She looked at me like she was trying to find the trap. So that's it? You're cutting me off. I'm not cutting you off, I said. I'm changing the terms to match what you asked for. The words landed and stayed there. In the quiet, I could hear the elevator hum somewhere behind us. I didn't think you'd take it this far, she said. I didn't think space meant I'd keep providing partner benefits, I replied. My voice surprised me. Calm. Even kind. I'm not angry. I'm just not confused. She shifted her weight. The urgency drained a little, replaced by something like realization. So what now? That depends, I said. If you want to be friends, we can figure out what that looks like. Slowly. With boundaries. If you want something else, that's a different conversation. But I'm not going back to pretending. She nodded once, small. I need to think. I get that, I said. She turned to leave, then hesitated. Can I at least use your car tonight? I'll bring it back. I shook my head gently. No, she didn't argue. She walked away, keys jangling in her pocket that weren't mine anymore. Later, alone, I felt the ache I'd been postponing. Ending things cleanly hurts more than dragging them out. But it also heals faster. I didn't win anything. I didn't prove a point. I just learned the difference between closeness and convenience, and chose not to confuse them again. Friendship, I realized, isn't a downgrade from romance. It's a different contract entirely. And contracts only work when both people read the terms.